Do you guys remember back in 2020 when the Xbox Series S was announced? The first thing that people ran with was, oh, that's a weak ass console. It's going to hold back next generation. The Xbox Series S was a mistake. Now, during this past year or so of next generation, the Xbox Series S has been doing well for the Microsoft and Xbox brand. They've been doing pretty well. Hell, last month, Xbox was number 2 in NPDs behind Nintendo. It actually outsold the PS5. And if you guys know, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X has still been extremely difficult to get a hold of. But the Xbox Series S has been available in stores. And guess what? People are actually buying them. People are buying them because it's a valuable little console. Now, with that being said, when Dying Light 2 released, they let everybody know that there's no performance mode on the Xbox Series S. There's obviously a 60 frames per second mode on the Xbox Series X and also the PS5, but the Xbox Series S will only run at 1080p 30. Now, you guys know what happened after this announcement. PlayStation fanboys, they ran with it, they talked shit. Oh my God. I actually have some receipts. Now, this guy says, damn, imagine buying a Series S and you don't have an option for 60 frames per second for Dying Light 2. 1080p, 30 frames per second only. Now, at the time of this tweet, what he said was technically true. But of course, Techland put out patch notes today where it says, improved game stability. A new balance mode added that runs in 60 FPS at Xbox Series X. Xbox Series S game modes added, including performance mode that runs in 60 FPS. So I'm assuming when he tweeted this out, he wanted it to remain 1080p 30 only, because they want to talk that shit about baby bro. Now look at this guy. Wait, the Xbox Series S version of Dying Light 2 can only do 1080p 30 frames per second? Then he has the Bobby Shmurda laughing gif. Oh, they were just loving that. They were loving every bit of baby bro only running Dying Light 2 at 1080p 30. Now look at this dick face. Xbox Series shit can't even run Dying Light 2. Then he has Uncle Phil gif laughing. Why are you using Uncle Phil for your console war foolishness, sir? Uncle Phil is a legend. Then we have this chick. Xbox Series S is only 30 frames per second because the console's GPU is holding them back, said by a dev of Dying Light 2. Xbox Series S is not next gen. Now look, I remember when the dev said that, but he quickly went back on that. And as you see, they made the Xbox Series S version 60 frames per second anyway. Now here's this guy, Red Dragon. Oh man, this guy truly hates Xbox for some reason. He says, Dying Light 2 dev says Xbox Series S is only 30 frames per second because the console's GPU is holding them back. This after responding to a complaint that 30 frames per second was making them feel sick. If AAA devs are already complaining about the power of the Xbox Series S, that's terrible. Barely a year old. Oh man, he was enjoying that news. You can tell, he hates Xbox for whatever reason, because he didn't used to hate Xbox. I guess they pissed him off. But he was loving that it wasn't able to do 60 frames per second at the time. Isn't it funny that these folks ignored all of the other games running at 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series S? All of the other huge franchises, Far Cry 6, some of those other games running at 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series S. Hell, they even ignored that the Xbox Series S has more 120 frame per second games than the PS5. No, they put all of their focus on Dying Light 2 because it came out, when the game came out, it was only running at 1080p 30. Oh man, they're loving it. They were loving it. But now, what are those guys saying now? Because it was clear that the game wasn't optimized. They wanted to get the game out there, and I'm sure they felt they can go back and, add a balance mode for the PS5 and Xbox Series X, and also add a performance mode for the Xbox Series S. And that's what they did. So I'm wondering, what are these guys saying now? Are they still like, the Xbox Series S is a mistake? Look, the Xbox Series S is not for us hardcore gamers. Now, some people might buy it. The people that might buy the Xbox Series S that's a hardcore gamer might be an owner of a PS5, more of a PlayStation guy. But they might have the urge to buy an Xbox Series S because they might want to play some Xbox exclusives and they're not a PC gamer. Or the Xbox Series S is a console for the kids or casuals. Do you guys catch my drift? Man, so PlayStation fanboys and fangirls catch another L. The internet is forever. You post something on the internet, we will find it. These new breed of Xbox folks, they will find those old tweets. You guys were making fun of Baby Bro. You guys was trying to bully Baby Bro, saying Baby Bro is not a next generation console. Baby Bro is holding back next gen. And look who has cross-generation games still to this day. Xbox doesn't have any more cross-generation first-party titles, but Sony sure does. Well, anyway, guys, let me get out of here. I'm done talking shit. It's just the Xbox Series S is a hell of a little console. I actually had one myself. I bought one a couple months ago. It's in my family room, and it's a great little console, man. Yes, I also have an Xbox Series X, but for the family room, the Xbox Series S is perfect. And the console is going to continue to sell. It's selling now, it's going to continue to sell. All right, but look, I'm about to get up out of here. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you happen to stumble across my channel and you think I'm decent enough, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? And if you subscribe, please hit that notification bell to know when my black ass is doing some new content, baby. All right, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Shit. Damn, man.